facing them every single time, whether it's in the SEA Games or in previous FIBA Asia tournaments.
Mm-hmm.
You meet people, you become friends with them, and of course, once it's on the court, everybody's trying to play their best and we both want to win. But the rivalry continues. It will never stop. Hopefully, you've been always mad at me for the past few years, but it's all it's all love, man. It's all love. But playing against Indonesia, Thailand, and all the other teams out here in the region is always fun. You're playing the sport that you love and at the same time representing your country.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's all fun, man. Who just walked by there? Was that Troy?
Oh, that was Troy.
Hey.
Troy just walked by. Yeah, we just finished lunch actually.
Yeah, it seems like you have some good weather there. You
Yeah, yeah.
mentioned about just how proud you are of being playing for Gilas, but how much do you miss playing for Gilas? It's been almost a year, man. What's
Yes.
the part about it do you miss the most?
It's the people. It's the fans. It's how Gilas unites everybody out here in the Philippines. I think besides a boxing match of Manny Pacquiao, it's Gilas who really tries to who can really stop everybody from doing something and just watch and support one team, right? So hopefully Gilas could be an example not only for basketball but anytime our national athletes play, people
Mm-hmm.
can just stop and support them, whether playing basketball, volleyball, whatever sports they have. So I think Gilas is just a symbol of unity. Gilas is a symbol of hope for everybody, especially out here in the Philippines.
Mm-hmm.
We're going through some tough times, everybody in the world. And I think
Mm-hmm.
with this opportunity to play for Gilas here in this window, we can give hope to a lot of people.
Yeah, for sure. I think a lot of
Yeah.
fans are just really waiting to watch you guys back in action.
Hmm.
Now, just going back to your background a little bit, I know probably some of your diehard fans know a lot about this, but let's talk about this for the
Yeah.
Asia Cup fans in Miami. How did you start playing basketball?
Started playing basketball when I was 4. Grew up in a family of athletes.
Mm-hmm.
My mom played for the national team for volleyball,
Mm-hmm.
and my dad used to be a professional basketball player as well. So it wasn't really hard for me to love the sport. If I would say, love at first sight,
Mm-hmm.
it was that kind of experience for me. So and it started from there. As soon as I wore my first ever national team jersey when I was 13, every time that feeling, if every time an opportunity to is given to me to feel that feeling again, I never say
Mm-hmm.
no. It's always an opportunity for me to represent the country, to represent, 100 other million Filipinos who love supporting Gilas.
Mm-hmm. Was there at any point during your childhood where you felt like, yeah, maybe basketball isn't something I want to do? Was there any doubt throughout that childhood?
I don't think so. I don't think there was any doubt that it was just basketball from the get go. I think it was something that really made me understand how life goes with basketball.
Mm-hmm.
It was it was hand in hand. It worked hand in hand for me, with basketball. All the things that I've learned and I'm learning with basketball, I apply it in my life off the court as well. So
Mm-hmm.
so I think it was really that big of an impact in my career that basketball has been my life ever since.
Mm-hmm. Okay, you mentioned your dad a little bit. I have something here. It's
Oh
a
wow,
training.
OG, that's
Yeah,
OG.
the OG right there.
That's
I,
OG right there.
I'm gonna have you get it to him to sign it. But yeah, just can you talk a bit about your father as a basketball player? How was he like? What was it like watching him growing up?
It was amazing. He would be the first one to really tell me that, like me personally, he doesn't want me to watch him play. He told me that there are many other better players than him. So, but of course, he was my idol growing up. He was the biggest influence in my career. Of course, paving the way for me for basketball. And he was surrounded with great players all throughout his careers, winning championships here and there for different organizations. So it's also something that I want to hopefully it can also happen to me, win a lot of championships in my career.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking forward for that.
Mm-hmm. What's a skill that you've picked up from him that you think really helped out the most? A basketball skill that you picked up from him.
I'd probably say his ability to create shots, especially underneath the basket, being crafty. I'm not the tallest, I'm not the most athletic player out there, but with him being crafty before as a player, I think I was
Mm-hmm.
able to that skill was passed on to me when I'm playing. So I guess that's a big asset that I have every time I step on the court.
Mm-hmm. How did I mean, obviously, with a father playing basketball, you yourself playing was young. How did those one-on-one matches go when you were a kid? And
Well,
when did you start regularly beating him?
of course, during the start, it was all fun and games, but it really gave me the motivation to work hard and eventually beat him. Probably came around when I was in high school,
Mm-hmm.
when I would really, develop as a player and improved a lot. I would say, and that's when I really started to beat him. And of course, I already beat him when he retired, when he was out of shape. So I had the big advantage already.
Yeah, for sure. And what's some advice that you've gotten from him? Just one, I think one key thing that you've gotten from him that you really still take to heart to this day.
Probably it's to respect the game. That's one thing that I've always uh, um, tried to think every time I play basketball, whether I'm playing in an official game or just playing a pickup game, playing for the national team or playing for my club team. Is to respect the game. You don't choose your opponents whether you want to take a rest on that certain game. You play it as it, the as the cliche goes. You have to play the game as if it's your last.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I learned how to play the game, and that's how I will continue to play it until my career ends.
Mm-hmm. Okay, now obviously not only the basketball player in your family, not only your dad, not only you, obviously your brother 30 as well. Can you talk to him a little bit, talk about him a little bit about how he is as a basketball player?
30, he's a freak of nature, as I would say. He's the most athletic among us three. My father and I.
Mm-hmm.
He's a hard worker, and he really, as you see, he comments right now. Who's that old man in a cap? So, so he's tuned in. But I'm very proud of what he has achieved and will continue to achieve in his career. He really broke the mold in terms of Philippine basketball of wanting to
Mm-hmm.
try overseas and try to be the first a trailblazer in his career. So I'm very proud that he was able to do that. Hopefully he recovers as soon as possible. He's recovering from an injury. We all want to see him play again, but things like that happen. We can't really avoid it.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, I'm a proud brother, and of course, he's always been proud that he's also a Raveena.
Mm-hmm. Okay, man, but going back 1 year ago, you guys were playing on the same team as national team teammates. How does that feel just to have
Yeah,
siblings, guys growing up? You've seen
yeah.
this kid like throwing tantrums on the floor, and now you're playing at the highest level of the sport in your country. Just how'd that feel?
Oh, that's crazy. I think it's just not a dream come true for the both of us, but most importantly, I think it's really for our parents. With us being together in one court, or especially playing for the national team, it's safe to say that my parents raised us well.
Mm-hmm.
I think my parents was able to really be successful in raising us as great people, and also of course good basketball players as well. A testimony on just following your parents can really get you somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I guess it was just really fun to be out there with him, and hopefully that won't be the last time that we'll be representing the country
Mm-hmm.
together.
Yeah, just showing some pictures from the last time that you guys played together, hoping to see a lot more of that in the future. But now that's on the same team. Let's go back to your childhood. I mean, you guys
Yeah.
obviously had to play one-on-one against each other a lot. How did a lot of those end, and how many times did your parents have to kind of break you apart from each other from fighting?
Oh, a lot of times. It sometimes it would really be, we won't be able to finish our one on one just because it was already too much. And it's just two competitive guys just going at it, and both of us, of course, it's pride that you can say, I'm a big brother, I don't want to lose. He has to prove a point that he could beat his older brother. So it's just fun to go at him, and I'm safe. It's safe to say that it's also has the same mindset, especially every time we play against each other.
Yeah, just to close out this part about the family a bit. I mean, how was it like just growing up in a basketball family? Yeah, just that's something that
Uh,
barely anyone gets to experience.
yeah, we're fortunate, and if I could say, we're very blessed to have a very very athletic background. Big part of it comes from the genes, and it also helps us develop really a good mindset of being competitive and bringing out the best in each other. We find competition in the smallest of ways, and it's innate for us to really compete. So every time it's real competition, yeah, it's really not difficult for us to give it our best, because it's an opportunity of a lifetime, especially playing for the national team. And with just being that, that's already a feat in itself. Not a lot of people can say that they played for the national team, and most definitely not a lot of people can say they played with the national team where they're brothers. So that's we're so blessed to have that opportunity.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's a lot about the other guys. Let's talk about you a bit more of your background. Who's your favorite player of all time?
Favorite player of all time, of course, has to be Kobe Bryant.
Mm-hmm.
Kobe, he's not here with us anymore, but I tried to pattern my game with Kobe a lot, um,
Mm-hmm.
with his mindset, with his moves. So I tried to emulate that and how I approach the game as well.
Mm-hmm. What's been your favorite moment playing basketball?
I'd say it would be my first ever World Cup.
Mm-hmm.
That would be my most memorable experience of playing basketball in my career.
Mm-hmm. Is there a specific moment, specific story you can tell from that experience that you can share with us that you really felt
Uh,
was yeah.
I'd say just the overall experience of playing against the best of the best. Play
Mm-hmm.
against the Jokic's, the Bogdanovic.
Mm-hmm.
Who else was there? Gallinari,
Mm-hmm.
Bellinelli. Those guys that you just you grew up watching, you grew up playing 2K with. Now
Mm-hmm.
you're sharing the same basketball court with them. So it was just that overall experience of being able to uh, play at the highest stage of basketball amongst the best.
Mm-hmm. Okay, obviously you're most known for wearing that number 15. Is that your favorite number? Is there a backstory behind it? What can you share that with us actually?
Um, sure. Yeah, of course, that's my favorite number. I've rocked it ever since. The only time that I'm changing numbers is actually every time I suit up for the national team. It's because the 30-time MVP of the PBA is number 15. So that's Junmar. That's always been reserved for Junmar, and and it's I mean it's worth it for it. That's why it's reserved for Junmar. And of course before with Kuya Mark Pingris is also number 15 player,
Mm-hmm.
and since now that they're both not part of the national team, but of course their tradition, their culture has always been left with the national team.
Mm-hmm.
what they've contributed. I'm going back to number 15. If ever I get to the lineup of Qatar for
Mm-hmm.
this window.
Mm-hmm. Who would be, say, the funniest teammate in the training camp right now?
Funniest teammate in the training camp right now. Hmm. That I know. People might think that he's not really funny because he's really quiet, but
Uh-huh.
if you get to know Justin Baltazar from GLSU, he's
Uh-huh.
a he's a character. He's a good character. You positive guy. You just want to be around him. He's a great
Mhm.
guy. But overall, everybody's here. Everybody in the camp has been great. But funny, it's got to be him.
Mhm. All right. What's your favorite dish? If there's a favorite dish you have, you maybe want to recommend to the guys watching or listening right now. What is it?
I'm sure a lot of Filipinos would know this dish. I love caldereta. I'd
Uh-huh.
say it's like beef. It's like beef stew.
Mm-hmm.
With tomato sauce and vegetables around it. And my mom cooks very good caldereta, so I think that's what I miss the most right now. The home cooked meals, especially being out here in the bubble for like 3.5 weeks already preparing for the window. But yeah, I'd
Uh-huh.
say that's my favorite dish.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a nice dish. Last week we had Lester, and he was saying about he loves crispy pata. So yeah,
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I don't
both
think that's a
classic.
little bit. I don't think that's a little bit healthy for you, big fella.
All right. Moving on. Who is your favorite artist, and what's your favorite song?
Favorite artist. It's got to be Drake.
Okay.
I'd say Drake. Favorite song. Hmm. Best I ever had.
Okay. Okay.
Drake as well. I picked Drake because I'd say he's one of the most flexible artists out there. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it depends on your mood, whatever, and he has it. Whatever album you want, whatever type or genre you want to listen to. Drake's
Yeah.
got it. So I'd say yeah.
Yeah. Good point. Still sticking with pop culture here. What's your favorite movie?
Oh, favorite movie. Filipino movie. I'd say it's One More Chance.
Uh-huh.
And overall, I mean international. It's the Fast and the Furious series.
Okay.
It's that one.
Which one was the best in that series?
Uh, in that series, I'd say five
Mm-hmm.
is the best. Fast Five
Okay.
and Hobbs and Shaw.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Solid
those two.
choices.
Yeah,
Okay, now I see your cap there a little bit. That's a nice Jordan brand right there.
yeah.
But
Yeah, Jordan Brand,
would it
right?
be safe to assume that that is your favorite shoe band, and what's your favorite model, actually?
Yeah, for sure. Favorite model, of course, the Jordan 11 would always be there.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, yeah, so it's always gonna be there. And to play in, it's uh the 34s, the low
Mm-hmm.
34s, Jordan 34 lows. I'm using it right now. The PEs of Zion.
Okay. Yeah, those are good.
Yeah,
Those are real.
those are nice. Those are really nice. Those are fire
Looking
for sure.
forward to see some Gilas PEs, man.
Oh man, that's the dream. That's the dream.
Hit it up my way whenever you can get them.
Yeah,
I'm
for
just
sure.
kidding.
Always, always, always.
Okay. Going back to basketball court a little bit. What's your favorite basketball move or skill that you have or you use regularly?
I'd say it's the Pinoy Step. I'm sure you know it. It's a
Yeah.
it's a variation of the Euro step that
Yeah.
Filipinos added a little flash to it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm always proud of what Filipinos can do, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm hopefully I get a chance to do it this window.
Yeah, you see it a lot, man. Wherever you have open runs and you see a
Yeah,
Filipino player, they're gonna pull it out
you
in
do it.
some variation.
It's in the bag for sure.
All right. What? It's only like a couple of weeks away, but what is something you're looking forward to the most in these upcoming Asia Cup qualifiers?
Um, one thing that I really look forward to is just going out there. Just going out there wearing, the flag on our chest and just competing. I'm sure, excuse me, I'm sure everybody else miss playing basketball, especially in different countries where basketball wasn't, still not allowed or still having a hard time getting back to normal. So, for us, we just want to go out there and represent the country and play our best.
Okay, obviously.